Every single person watching this video is different, not just because of your experiences, but because of your DNA. Your DNA contains over 3 billion letters of genetic code, and every time a baby is born, nature makes around 50 to 100 tiny copying mistakes. Most of these mutations don't matter. Some cause diseases. But every once in a while, a mutation doesn't make someone weaker. It makes them stronger. Sometimes much stronger. These people aren't superheroes. They can't fly. They can't shoot lasers from their eyes. But thanks to a few rare genetic changes, some need only 4 hours of sleep. Some have bones so strong they almost never break. Some are naturally resistant to deadly viruses. And one group of people can survive on mountains where most of us can barely breathe. So today, let's look at the rare mutations that accidentally gave humans extraordinary advantages. Imagine getting only 4 hours of sleep every night and waking up completely refreshed. No coffee, no afternoon crash, no health problems. For almost everyone, that's impossible. Sleep is essential because your brain uses it to repair itself, strengthen memories, and regulate hormones. But scientists discovered a handful of families carrying a mutation in a gene called December 2nd. Their bodies simply need less sleep. While most of us spend nearly 1/3 of our lives asleep, these people gain thousands of extra waking hours over a lifetime. Researchers are still trying to understand exactly how this mutation works. If they figure it out, it could completely change how we treat sleep disorders. Now imagine a virus trying to infect your body and failing before it even gets inside your cells. That's exactly what happens to some people with a mutation called CCR5 delta 32. Normally, HIV enters immune cells through a tiny receptor on their surface. Think of it like a key unlocking a door. But in people with this mutation, that door is either missing or doesn't work properly. The virus has nowhere to enter. No door, no infection. Scientists became so interested in this mutation that it inspired experimental treatments and even helped lead to a few rare cases where patients were effectively cured after receiving stem cell transplants from donors carrying this mutation. A tiny genetic difference changed the fight against one of history's deadliest viruses. Most of us worry about breaking a bone after a bad fall, but some people have bones so dense. Doctors sometimes discover the mutation only because an X-ray looks unusually bright. This happens because of changes in a gene called LRP5. Their bones are significantly stronger than average. Many of them never experience osteoporosis, even later in life. For scientists, this mutation is incredibly exciting. If we can understand how it builds stronger bones naturally, it could help millions of people suffering from brittle bone diseases. Sometimes, nature solves problems before science even knows the answer. Have you ever wondered why some people seem naturally stronger? Training matters. Diet matters. But genes matter too. Your body produces a protein called myostatin. Its job is surprisingly simple. Stop your muscles from growing too much. Think of it as your body's natural speed limiter. But in very rare cases, a mutation reduces myostatin's effect. Without that limit, muscles grow larger and stronger than normal. Scientists have seen this mutation not only in humans, but also in animals like Belgian blue cattle, famous for their extraordinary muscle mass. Of course, this doesn't replace exercise, but it shows just how much influence a single gene can have. Right now, you probably think everyone sees the world exactly as you do, but that's not true. Most humans have 3 types of color-detecting cells in their eyes. They're called cones. Together, they allow us to see millions of colors. But some women are born with a 4th type of cone, a condition called tetrachromacy. In theory, this allows them to distinguish colors that look completely identical to everyone else. Imagine looking at 2 shades of blue that seem exactly the same to you, while someone else instantly notices dozens of subtle differences. It's like upgrading from standard definition to ultra-high definition vision. Finally, let's travel more than 4,000 meters above sea level. At that altitude, most people quickly struggle to breathe. Headaches, fatigue, altitude sickness. Your body simply isn't built for thin air, unless your ancestors spent thousands of years living there. People native to the Tibetan Plateau carry a mutation in a gene called EPAS1. Instead of producing huge numbers of red blood cells like most visitors, their bodies use oxygen far more efficiently. The result? They can work, run, and live comfortably, in conditions that leave many tourists exhausted after climbing a single flight of stairs. This isn't science fiction. It's evolution happening within our own species. These mutations might sound like superpowers, but they all have one thing in common. They began as tiny copying mistakes in DNA. Most mutations disappear forever. Some become harmful. But every once in a while, a random change gives someone an advantage. And if that advantage helps people survive, evolution keeps it, which raises an incredible thought. The next extraordinary human ability may already exist somewhere on Earth today, hidden inside someone's DNA, waiting to be discovered.